Welcome to the channel A31 Today live grafting demonstration of persimmon. So in the green we have the hido, Fuyu. It's going to be 2 attempts. We have this tiny little piece of the Fuyu and then 2 blue of the giant. Alright, stay tuned. Take a look. The tools, the Cyanon, precision grafting shears, and a grafting knife. Alright, aquí andamos en Santa Cruz, California. Puro guarache piteado, ya saben. Alright, so I want to come in low to be able to reach the fruit. But I know that vigor wants to run upwards. But the tree's been checked. It's been properly trained and pruned by another tree shaper. So we should be good. Okay, so I'm gonna tie in right here. On the 2, we're gonna go giant right here. We're gonna go giant. So let me mount. You guys on the tripod. Okay. Robert Argueta, good afternoon. Al 100, aquí andamos. So this right here, a little bit of a nursing branch, however it broke. But we are going to be using it as a nursing branch. I'm going to come back to that good bud. It's expressed and breaking dormancy. I normally like to come in pre-dormancy break. But a grafting tip was to come out to graft when it was already waking up. So right here, rejuvenating the cut. Hellish Angel Sins, hello. Thank you for tuning in once again, live in Santa Cruz, California. Turning this Hachiya persimmon into a multi-graft. We're going giant Fuyu, hido Fuyu, and regular Fuyu. So take a look at that limb right there. I'm new. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the community. My forte is avocados, but I'm a fruitscaper. I could multi-graft almost all trees. I haven't attempted all fruit trees, but I'm pretty sure I can execute it. The principle is basically the same. So right here, live grafting demonstration. Thank you for tuning in. All right. This is the giant. And then I color coded these ones with blue. And I seal with kids paint. So that's sealer and marker to identify. All right, here we go. Let me try to get everything in frame. Right there, perfect. Okay. So break the label. Continue to shape outwards. The shorter the better, so about the size of my finger. It's gonna seat at that notch on the Cyanon, so I'll kind of make this as an angle cut, but I'm already orienting and training. That's a good bud right there. I want that pointing outwards. And so take a look. It's gonna go like this. This is at an angle, so it seats in that notch better. Okay. And then the cyan, and this is what I mean. I have these 2 oil stains right there that I use as a marker. I'll go about that length for the whip. Bam, clean whip, look at that. Okay, now I mock it up. I want it like that. So here I go. Let me angle this too so it sits better. Okay, and then again, the cyan, it's gonna sit right there. There, you see? Now they can marry, and it's angled correctly. All right, but here comes the tongues. The tongue is gonna be lower third, middle third, and then top third. Top third right here. Dig in, and then go the length of the blade. There. I apologize about the focus. So there. Pry open, but it should be good. Now, the tongue on the host branch, same thing. Lower third, middle third, top third. Line it up. Dig in. And gently rock and cut. Slow. If you're gonna cut yourself, it's gonna be right here. My hand shouldn't even be right there. But for the sake of, and I'm pretty good, but for the sake of the video demonstration, I want to hold it steady. Again, the depth of the blade. Pry it open, wiggle it open, and then pull out your knife. Now the marriage. And what you want to do, I slightly cheated out. I've angled it. I've angled it, but I know it's touching there. It's going to touch right there. It's touching here. And intersecting. So I always slightly kick it out. This one's a little bit awkward because the host branch is a little bit thicker. But I'm not intimidated by that because, again, let me show you. See how right there it's kicking out? So that guaranteed an intersection point right there. Trim excesses if you'd like. Trim the excess. And then now tie. Landscaper's tie. Beautiful cut. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll go more. I'll go more and really choke up on it because this degrades, the UV rays degrade this. So you want to really choke up on it. First tie below the graft, just to tie it up. This little tongue, I kind of lace it up. And then I start wrapping at the union, at the middle. At the middle. And then force it to hug. So right here, I'm pushing it up. Because again, I want those cambium layers to come in contact. Try to keep it flat. Otherwise it'll dig into your wood. So keep it flat. And then now from the bottom up, try to seal. Start sealing, coming up from the bottom up. And at the same time still choking up. However, I'm seeing that this is not giving me, I would like it to be tighter. But this landscaper's tie is a little weak and brittle. So I'm gonna go over it with some green landscaper's tie that I have as well. But yeah, go ahead and do it. I kind of downplay it. The first couple of times you're gonna be shaky, and for sure you're gonna cut yourself. The question is just how bad. But I've always been pretty good with the knife, so it hasn't been too bad. But if you feel like you're a little shaky, then maybe get those knife resistant gloves. See what I mean? I can't really draw, I can't really pull. It snaps. And so pry it and close it shut. And then one wrap, tie, pry, and see it snaps. But it would have been pull forward and tie again. But that one's good for now. Let me come in with the green one. The green one's a little bit stronger. And this one I can just be at the union where I want to be. I'm sealed up already. This one's just gonna be redundancy and a little bit more strength. Able to keep it closed. Comment down below, what are you looking to graft? What's your favorite fruit tree? Let me know. Converse. Open up the conversation. I might be able to either find you your tree, your dream tree. I can custom graft your dream tree, or I could help you find budwood. So there, I'm prying it and like ratcheting it tight. That was like one loop, and then it gave me enough for another one. Enough room. Barely. There. tying it. Okay. Now the label. The ledger blue. Just a second, I'll remove. Back in frame. Loop it through. And there. On the same axis right here, on this same axis, on this lower, this is going to be probably the lower axis. Yeah, this is going to be the lowermost axis. We're going to come again. So let's go again over here. Let's go on this one. That looks pretty good. Again, about the length of your finger. That's a good bud right there, so I want that outward facing. And I want the whip on the top side. And then right here. Clear the cache right there. There. Now the whip. Again, lower third, mid third, and we're going top third, cutting down to the mid third. Dig in. Gentle. Take a look. Watch your angle. If you angle it too much, you're just gonna essentially graft it. I'm sorry, cleft. You're gonna shape it like an arrowhead. So watch your angle. It's almost parallel. Just dig in a little bit. And rock. There. Now the host branch. Same thing. There, it's a little brittle. So watch the travel. It'll want to travel. It can slip and travel and cut yourself. Let me get under it. Let me watch it. There. I'm good. Sorry, I can't really show you because this won't go up. And now the marriage. There. There's that U, and then the whip is like sitting right there. Well, at this point and at this point, it's drawing contact. So if you could see that U, and then the whip on the top is wider, so it overlaps right there. That's two good union points right there. And I'm just gonna bypass the white and come in with the green. Tie below. Tie below the union just to anchor the tape to the branch, and then your first couple of turns are going to be on the center of it. Two, three turns on the center, and then work your way down to come back up evenly or overlapping. Come up overlapping to create a seal. That was one tie and loop. And then again, you ratchet backwards a little bit to choke it. And then pull forward. Pull forward and then go again. And there, that was 2, 3, that was 3. But again, redundancy and then choke up. Choke up. I could even go a 4th because there's room. No label on this, but it's the ledger. We're following the ledger. The blue means giant. Giant Fuyu. Okay? And then right here, this is kind of damaged. Eventually, once this wakes up, we'll go cut back to here, favoring the graft. But for now, just set back the hosting branch. The nursing branch, the nursing top. Again, this is the nursing. We're trying to hijack some vigor right here, push it through the graft, but overall we want this branch to draw at an even amount than the neighboring branches. Because if not, it'll just die back. You have to keep your multi-grafts balanced. So I'm gonna go here. There's 3. 1, 2, and then 3, but I'm just gonna let it fork out at 2. There. And then this one, also train. We'll go back. Whoops. We'll go back to this bud. Again, that's also a nursing branch. There. So again, that's the main axis. This is the giant Fuyu axis. It forks out this way. This is our little nursing branch in this direction. There's a graft. And then over on this fork, this is the graft, and this is the nurse. We're using it as nursing. We're using it as a nursing branch, but we also set it back. Okay, so that's the giant Fuyu. Next up is hido. Hido. So let's see, for the hido, we were gonna come over here. I'm thinking I made for that one. It's on an upright angle. Not ideal, but persimmons prefer a central leader shape. So we might want it to go vertical. Okay, it's basically like a mini tree on this tree, if that makes sense. The two hido Fuyu right here. So this cut's been rejuvenated and sealed, the top side, and on the bottom, again, about the length of a finger, the middle finger. So there's two good buds on here, that one and that one. Now we're gonna cut it off right there. This would have potentially been another good piece too. But we're not too worried about it. Right there, we're gonna cut the inward growth using this as a nursing branch, and we're gonna go right here. Same thing, that's that outward bud, so we want the whip on the opposite side of it. Seat it in that notch. Clean cut. Now the tongue. Same thing. Lower third, mid third, top third. Line it up. Dig in. Rock, 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 rock. Watch your fingers. There. Now we go to the host branch. There. And there it is. Slightly kicked out. Again, below the union, just to anchor your tape. And now we tie. Go at the middle of the union. Straighten out your tape. Go from the bottom. The tail's a little long, but knowing that the tape's a little weak, I'm just going over it a couple times more. And again, at the beginning, you're gonna get the jitters. You're gonna get nervous. You feel like you have to move fast, but just move precisely. And again, always try to watch, prevent cutting yourself is what's gonna be most important. Okay, but for sure, after a while, you'll just develop a steady hand. And I really should have been a surgeon. I still can be. I believe I can be a good doctor, but I would rather be a vet than a doctor. I have cousins that are doctors. If they could do it, I could do it. Right here, I'm pressing it shut with my fingers. The important part right here, keep your tape flat. Keep your tape flat. You want to avoid cinching up your tape to where it's going to cut into your union, because it'll be healing, but then if it's cinched up flat and sharp, it'll start to cut into your wood, and you don't want to avoid it. You want to avoid that. Versus if it's flat, it's just going to stretch along with the growth of the wood. Yeah, and this is definitely too long of a tail. I feel pretty good about it now, but I'm just gonna keep using it. You can never be too tight. And watch, let me go faster now. But it's just harder trying to explain it and then keeping it within frame for you guys to see. So I'm definitely moving way slower for you guys, but I'm essentially replicating knowledge. I'm sharing my knowledge. You guys need to help me to continue this work. So this is a very important mission. The teaching part of it is a very important mission. Most people want to like hang on to their knowledge. They want to hoard their knowledge, not share. But the more people are doing this, the faster I can move along and target other missions, other life missions that I have. So I need everybody, all of my followers, to graft at least once. I have 2,000 followers. If all of them graft one fruit tree, that's 2,000 fruit trees in circulation, in production. Just imagine how much more food we're gonna have. All right, this was overkill for sure. Ratchet back, and then pull forward again. Again, keep your tape flat. Two, ratchet back, pull forward, and then I'll go a third. There, and this one I'm gonna draw and pull till it rips. There. I'm looking for the green linescaper type, but it just fell here somewhere and I can't see it. So again, we're gonna go again with another hido. Hido green label. Fold it in as to avoid like a sharp pointy area, and then tag your graft. Bam. Okay, one more. One more. I'll go again the same axis. And then I wanna come high. This lateral one is broken. Look, this is broken already actually, so I'm just gonna clean cut it off. And it's actually stripped. Let me show you, hold on. The bark is stripped on this, look. When that happens, take it off. It'll heal over better and faster if you just cut off the bad part. That being said, I do not want to go in that direction now. So I'm gonna come in lower. We'll go here. The length of my middle finger. Here we go. That's a good bud right there. So I want the whip on the inside, opposite side of your good bud. Clean whip. And then now this one. Go again. There. Sorry about that. Right here. Grafting knife. Again. Lower third, middle third, top third, line it up. Slightly dig in. Just thin, okay? And now the marriage. There. It's slightly kicked out. It's kicked inwards to where the host branch. It's slightly kicked inwards to where the host branch is doing that. Now tie below to anchor. Middle part to secure. I feel pretty good about both of them. So far I felt good about all grafts. And on deciduous trees, I gotta step up, be brave. I've gotten like 98% success rate. So I feel pretty good about them. One tie, ratch, pull back, strap, and then go again. One more. Again, kind of ratchet, pull forward, pull back, pull forward, pull back. There. And again, that's green. That's hido, Fuyu. And then again, also setting this back. There was a wound right here and it's being strapped up. So we're gonna push the strap down and cut. That's where it was damaged. Do you ship budwood? I can and I have. What do you need? Comment down below. Right now in my fridge are pluots. I'm heavy with the Zay Family Farm genetics. Everything that the patent has expired. So right now in my fridge I have off tops. I have Flavor Queen, Flavor Delight, Aprium, Dapple Dandy, some Flavor Grenade, and 3 or 4 whips of that Flavor King. For sure. And then this is gonna be, it's pretty thin, but this is a Fuyu. This is the Fuyu. So let's go there. Right there again on a separate axis. I avoid putting 2 of the same grafts on the same axis because then they'll start to compete with each other. And if I have to make a decision, if I have to favor one over the other, then I'll just chomp one of the 2 on the same axis. So let's go right there. Again, I want to keep it close and tight to the mother tree. Let's go. Let's go around. Let's go right there. Higher. Lower third, middle third, top third, line it up, dig in, cut, 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 rock, 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 rock. Rock it back and forth, go slow. There. There. Perfect. Found it. And I'm gonna go all of it, about like 18 inches. Anchor below the union, and this is a perfect one, perfect example because it's kind of on the side. I'll go right there in the middle. 1, 2, hug, and then I'm already working my way down so that I come up overlapping. I'm pulling a little bit, okay? There. And this one I worked my way back down a little bit, but back up again. And that's gonna happen, it's okay. Now just tie. Now just tie wherever it was at. And I'll just undo it. There. Strap, strap. Kind of ratchet, pull back and forward, pull back and forward. And then go one forward again. And there was a little of a hiccup, but I still feel good about it. This is gonna be the Fuyu. The yellow one. Let me get the label. And that's the label. That's gonna be it. I lost a little tie wire, but I'll be back. I'm just gonna go get it. But that's it. That was the grafting demo. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Peace.